What is up, everybody in the private community? Today we're going to be jumping into Pendle. I did like a first draft on this video a few days back, but yeah, I didn't have the camera then, and so now I got the camera. We're shooting in 4K, so we're going to go ahead and jump in here and we're going to break it down to kind of explain how Pendle works, what it is, and how you can use it to your advantage to earn yield on ETH, stablecoins, different assets that maybe you have on Ethereum mainnet, as well as Arbitrum. So Pendle is a yield optimization protocol and also a yield tokenization protocol. So what they do is they take a specific asset, for example, let's look here, USDE, which is a stablecoin, and they USDE is a yield-bearing stablecoin actually, and they tokenize the yield. So if you see here, this is a 112-day pool. It matures on July 24th, 2024, and so they tokenize the yield from when the pool started until July 24th of 2024. And they split that into the PT token and the YT token. And the YT is the yield token, and the PT is the principal token. So actually, let's go ahead and switch over to the earn here so you can see these pools. So mostly you're going to see ETH LSTs here, liquid staking tokens like STETH, SWETH, OETH, ETHX, Frax ETH, and then you have liquid restaking tokens like EtherFi ETH, Restaked Swell Ethereum, Renzo, and Kelp DAO, of course. There's also a couple others here. And basically what this allows you to do, let's say I want to come on here, have some EtherFi ETH. If I were to click on this market, I could go ahead and deposit. Well, I don't have any EtherFi ETH right now, so let's just say regular ETH. If I wanted to deposit 0.5 ETH into this pool, I would be earning 40.81% APY for the next 84 days until this pool matures. And when I remove it, I would have 0.5418 ETH, which is the same as regular ETH. So that is the current, I guess, state of affairs here with Pendle. It's different, obviously, for different pools. Some pools have multiple different maturities, but a lot of the LRTs right now, which is the liquid restaking tokens, most of them only have one pool at the moment, which is fine for the time being, but I'm sure down the road they'll continue to add different maturities. As it says here, more maturities are coming. So basically what you would do, if you were going to be using this pool, you would be depositing into this pool, and in 84 days you would be receiving that well, okay, so if I was to put through this earn pool here, if I was to deposit ETH, what I would take out is the PT ETH, and the PT is that principal token I was telling you about before. And the principal token at the time the pool matures is equivalent to the actual underlying asset. So I would be pulling out 0.5418 PT ETH if I were to deposit 0.5 ETH. And then when the pool matured, I would be able to pull out 0.5418 ETH. It wouldn't be tokenized anymore as PT or YT, none of that. It would just be ETH, regular native asset. Just to demonstrate as well, if I was to put 1 ETH in at this 40.83%, I would be taking out 1.084 ETH in just 84 days. So, I mean, so basically that's 8.4% in only 84 days, which, that's substantial. Let's say, for example, if you had 10 ETH that you were to put in, you would be able to take out 10.84 ETH, which, it's not a small matter. You can earn a lot of yield here. Some of these pools, this EtherFi pool is only 40.9% APY right now, but this RSW ETH one is 60.92. And then I know there was a couple others not too long ago that were even higher. So the percentages do change, but if you were to get in right now, you're locked in at that APY if you hold until the end of the pool. So it's in this top corner here, you could see there's a switch between trade and earn. So on trading, you have the ability to trade these YT and PT tokens. So recently this has become very popular because of these airdrops that these protocols are doing. USDE, this Athena stablecoin protocol, they did an airdrop. Their token just launched, I think, a couple days ago. And then, of course, Swell, EtherFi, they had airdrops going as well. And so you can purchase the RSW ETH long yield APY, the YT token, and basically you earn, if we go to this points trading here, you'll see you would be earning 4.5% or 4.5x multiplier basically on Swell. So for example, I'll show you how that would work. If you were to purchase the YT, they say it's 43x leverage on the points and 10x leverage on eigenlayer points. But the way that would work is if I were to spend 1 ETH, I would be taking out 9.28 YT RSW ETH. So basically that would be, I would be spending 1 ETH and taking out 9.28 ETH worth of yield on this token. When the pool matures though, on June 26th, so I think like 80 something days, that token would be worth 0. So the trade-off there is you're paying for the yield, you're paying for the later's yield now, and with other tokens like these LRTs, they don't have really a yield yet. It's just simply the points. So that's why those tokens wind up being worth 0. Some of these other ones, you may be able to walk away with a profit. So if you look here, it'll show you minus 100%, minus 100%. But if we scroll down on some of these, you'll see USDT Stargate, for example, you would be making 89.98% if you were to purchase that. So I'm not super familiar with trading the YT and PT tokens myself. The only advantage that I can see is, for example, you could buy 1 RSW ETH right now for $2,964 when the price of ETH is, $3,300 or whatever it is at the moment here. So $3,300. So basically you're getting a massive return because you only have to wait 84 days for it to mature. So I could effectively buy 1 Ethereum right now for $2,900 or basically $3,000, and I would be effectively getting 1 Ethereum, 1 liquid restaking token Ethereum, that I only have to wait 84 days to cash out to the native asset with for a much cheaper price. So there is that advantage that you have as well. I don't want to spend too long on that, so let's switch over to these pools and I will show you how you would get in and out of the pools. So this is the liquidity pool section of the app. If you don't want to buy PT tokens, you don't want to play with the YT tokens, you can add liquidity into these pools and earn an APY on that as well. So on the earn page, you're depositing into this basically a vault. You earn fixed yield, and what you have effectively is the PT token. You wait until the pool is mature, and then you can swap that PT token for the native asset. But in the pools section here on trade, you can go ahead and manually add liquidity into these pools, which if you were to put assets into the earn section, you would get the PT token. So then you would be adding, the base token RSW ETH. I'm using the RSW ETH pool as the example because that is a pool that I'm in. Um, they're mostly the same though across the board. But let's say I was going to just use ETH because that's the asset that I have in my inventory. If I was to put 0.25 ETH, oh, this is an out of range pool. Okay, there we go, manually. Let's say I was to put 0.25 ETH. I would also need 0.073 PT RSW ETH, and then I would get out the LP token for this pool, and I would be getting 0.16 of the LP token. Now, if you go into the liquidity pool with this, you're earning the underlying yield on the ETH itself, which is 1.884% APY, the PT yield, which is the yield that is, marked out on the PT token itself. When it is matured, it'll be worth, the underlying asset. And then you're also earning the LP swap fee yields. And then there is Pendle incentives on these pools as well. This specific pool that I'm on right now is a brand new pool, so there is no Pendle incentive on that one yet. But if we go over to this one, you would see here there is a 13.94% Pendle token incentive. So for this specific pool, I've personally been in this pool for maybe a month now, and I've earned basically effectively $18 worth of Pendle for having provided liquidity, basically a little over 1 RSW ETH worth of liquidity. So that has been pretty nice. And I'm also earning 57.94% APY on the PT. So if I was to pull out right now through manual liquidity removal, I would get 1.1225 PT RSW ETH and then a little bit of actual RSW ETH. And then effectively in 84 days, I could cash this RSW or this PT token in for 1.1225 RSW ETH. So the APYs are this boosted APY is if you're staking Pendle. So if you've locked Pendle in the VE Pendle dashboard, then you would be earning the boosted APY. And then if you're unboosted, I'm only earning 75.48%, which is still excellent if you ask me. Now, to understand how much Pendle you would need to lock to earn the boosted APY here, if you see here, Pendle for max boost, 3 months, 24,000 Pendle, 2 years, 3,075 Pendles. So it's different for every pool, but I just figured I would show that to you in case you're looking to utilize that feature. I personally do not, but let me just explain to you how you can get into these pools. So I did show you the manual already where you would add liquidity with ETH and the PT token, but you can also zap into these pools, which is how I got into them, where you would just take one asset from your inventory. This pool is being decommissioned, so I can't add. I keep going here. You would choose the asset from your inventory. Let's say I want to put 0.5 ETH in, and I would get out 0.25 LP RSW ETH. So basically, whatever you put in, you're going to get half in LP tokens because the LP token represents 2 assets. And then if you wanted to zap out, you can zap out as well. Zapping in and out on the out of range pools is a good way to lose, basically. So obviously you can't even use the out of range pools, but if you're in a pool and it goes out of range, best practice on that, like, you can just stay in, nothing will change. If you leave it in until the pool matures, you'll get your tokens back regular, no change. You just will stop earning swap fees on the pool once it is out of range because nobody's trading the YT and PT tokens in that specific pool anymore. That's why they created the new pool. But if you wanted to get out of a pool that you were in, you would just go to remove liquidity and you would remove RSW ETH and PT RSW ETH. And you can also claim your rewards in the exact same transaction to save on gas fees. But if you were to zap out, you would actually wind up losing because if you see here, let's say I want to zap out into RSW ETH, I'm only going to get 1.05 RSW ETH. So that's not the way that you want to get out of the out of range pools if you were in one and you decided you wanted to get out. But as you can see, like I said, there's a lot of different liquid restaking token pools. We have Swell, KelpDAO, EtherFi, Dinero here, which I'm not too familiar with this protocol, but that is there. And then of course Renzo, Puffer, Bedrock, lots of different pools here, and they also have pools for stable coins as well. So you could put Stargate USDT, as well as FUSDC from the Flux protocol, which I believe is different than the actual Flux layer, or Flux chain rather. I apologize. And then USDE, which is a new stable coin that just recently launched. So that's all available there. They'll have a dashboard for you where you could see what your positions currently are, what your yield is that you've earned. There is impermanent loss if you get out of a pool before it matures, but that's only if you're in a pool and you decide you want to leave it before it matures. If you get into a pool and you stay in until it matures, you're exposed to no impermanent loss and basically no risk at all, other than, you know, typical smart contract risk that comes with using any of these protocols. But Pendle has been around for quite some time, and I mean, there's been no nefarious things going on with them as of yet. I know somebody had mentioned these high APYs. It could be, you know, malicious or whatever else. That is typically the case, but this is all on chain, and people are trading the tokenized yield, and that's where this yield ultimately is coming from. Pendle's on Arbitrum, BNB, Optimism, and it looks like they just now are added a pool on Mantle as well for this USDE stablecoin. There's only 2 pools on Optimism as of right now. Arbitrum is where you'll see there's, you know, considerably more pools than these other layer 2s, but mostly the pools are on mainnet and Arbitrum. Other than that, this is where the VE Pendle dashboard here, where you would either lock your Pendle. I believe you can only lock Pendle on mainnet though, because I have some Pendle tokens on Arbitrum and I was unable to lock them, so I'm not too sure what is going on with that, but regardless, it is what it is. And then of course there's this points trading here where you can take advantage of the YT token purchasing to earn extra airdrop points for these different protocols, and ultimately put yourself you know, higher up on a dashboard for some of these different protocols. If you want to get on an airdrop but you're late to the party, ultimately you can kind of speculate on, you know, what the airdrop's going to be worth by spending some money. And if you were to purchase a YT token and the price was to go up from demand, you know, there are ways to trade that where you ultimately don't lose money and still walk away with points on these protocols. But I would say if you're going to go into it to earn points, 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to lose some money. You just have to decide if the points that you're earning is worth the money that you're spending on those YT tokens. So something to consider. If there's anything that I didn't cover, feel free to drop a comment down below. I think I covered just about everything. Using the trade function, using the earn function, as well as providing liquidity in these different pools, and then purchasing and selling YT and PT tokens here on Pendle. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to either reach out to me via DM or drop a comment down below. And if you did like this video, let me know. I will do breakdowns on more of these. Obviously, I'm going to be coming to the channel here shortly. But if there is something that you want some more information on, be it in DeFi, airdrops, anything at all, you know, just let me know, and I'll look to get a video out for you ASAP. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And take care. Have a good rest of your day.